Welcome back to Alphablocked. I've been doing a little bit of agility pyramid. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyways, I'm going to turn in this pyramid top. And that is it for this trip to the pyramid. 200,000 coins. Very good. Probably could have brought teleport runes with me. That would have sped this up a little bit. But that's okay. This has been quite the process. Quite the process indeed. Let me just take out my money here. Teleport over to Varrock. And make ourselves a purchase. Just a little something to start us off today. What are we gonna get? Our stats might tell the story. Agility is now our highest skill at 70, tied with our attack. So we're going to purchase ourselves an Abyssal Whip. Leaving us with 147,000 coins. Which, honestly, that's fine. Also, a fun note, unlocking vials was very convenient, because that meant we didn't need to worry about drinking the entire stamina potions. So that's fun. Also, I haven't moved anything from last round. I'll do that. I kind of just went straight to the agility pyramid. Got myself a bunch of water skins. It's less convenient to refill the water skins. I just ran back to Narda every trip. Because currently, for us, the Narda fountain doesn't work. And we'd have to take the rug all the way over to Palvanich, fill it up, fly back, or run through the desert more. Just buying myself dozens and hundreds of water skins just was fine. It's fine. But now, we've got a whip. Dragon Sword was coming in with 65 stab accuracy and 63 strength. Abyssal Whip is coming in with 82 slash accuracy and 82 strength. So, 19 more strength. Much better. And we got our full void melee still. So that is very good options. A big upgrade, and probably the melee weapon we're going to be rocking for the foreseeable future. No real reason to be upgrading past a whip right now. A very solid choice. Next up, we need to buy ourselves some iron bars. Just a couple. Just a few. And we're going to take these for another huge unlock. Thurgo, what are you doing all the way over there? I don't think I've ever seen Thurgo this far away from his house. Strange. Anyways, I've got all the required items to make a blurite sword. And we're making a second one. Because why not? Now, the Blurite sword is in fact not an upgrade over the whip, but it looks fancy. And we're unlocking the item anyway, so might as well keep some fun cosmetics around. But with that, we can head back to Falador and complete the Knight's Sword, which is a pretty big deal. A pretty big deal indeed. And drop this sword again, talk to the squire. We got it. Quest complete. 12,725 smithing XP. Jumps us straight from level 1 to level 29. And what can we do with our level 29 smithing? A whole bunch of iron stuff, including the knives. So now, we've unlocked the smithing skill. We can mine iron ore, smelt into iron bars if we wanted to, which we don't. Take those iron bars and turn them into iron knives. I believe for a profit, but we'll check that out. At any rate, we can actually train smithing. It's not going to be fast, but it's going to be AFK. And if profitable, along with potential options in fletching, we might not have to go back to the agility pyramid. Wouldn't that be nice? So let's grab some iron bars. Just for a start, we'll buy 100. So we got these for 119 each. Okay. So if we grab our hammer and some iron bars, if each iron bar is 119 coins, let's see how much we can make from making these into iron knives. We'll probably do this to at least 40 smithing. We would unlock options for gold smithing. We won't have the goldsmithing gauntlets though for a long time, so probably not a great choice. If we make ourselves some iron knives, that's 25 experience each, straight into the smithing skill. No problems. And at 5 knives per bar, we're losing money. Crud. Well, we're not losing too much money though, so. And we're getting all the iron knives we need for range training, so. Yeah, it's acceptable. Would love to have made some profit there, but oh well. It's not a huge difference. We could maybe break even with trying to play the Grand Exchange a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. So I am not going to spend all my money on iron bars right now. Probably just make the ones we have here. And then we can figure out what we want to do next. Since smithing was just going to lose me a whole bunch of money, slowly, I decided to do the opposite and go make a whole bunch of money, slowly. We're over here, in the Woodcutting Guild, which I can go into, because I can. We've been chopping willows, making willow longbows, and we got all the way up to 55. So now we can make maple longbows and broad bolts once we unlock either of those things. This is slightly profitable, I suppose. Go from 21 to 43. It's not going to be a lot, even with all the bows that we made here. 66 woodcutting, 55 fletching. Probably just gonna chop a few more willow logs, and then we can go see how many bows we made. Got one more woodcutting level, so now we're level 67. And I think it's time to sell off all of our woodcutting adventures. We've got our oak logs from earlier, which I have no intention of burning or fletching, because we have better options. Likewise with the willow logs. And here is our 3,118 willow longbows EU. So we should be able to make a little bit of profit here. Not much on the willow logs, but that's to be expected. Technically, I could take the time to turn them into willow longbows U, but I think we'd be better off just selling these and purchasing maple logs or something. 300k worth of oak logs. Not bad. 16k here, and 180k. There's some decent prices on those wooden items. Back up to 651,000 coins. Very good. For the next thing we're doing, we're going to complete a quest. But it's going to require a lot of our ores. We're going to need our 4 copper ores, 1 of our iron ores, and we're even going to need another one. 1 more iron ore, please. And thank you. And here is our item, starting with the letter C. It's clay. Just your average, run-of-the-mill clay. And we're going to need 6 of them. It seems like clay is more expensive than a lot of other ores, which is interesting. I guess it's just that inconvenient to mine it. And iron's worth less than copper. Sure. Why not? We're going to bring our pickaxe, and we're going to fill the rest of the inventory with things in an attempt to stop Doric from giving us a bronze pickaxe. We don't want to unlock that right now. And as long as it doesn't go in our inventory, we're going to be okay. By bringing all the ores, we should be able to do the whole, oh, I've brought everything you wanted, and skip the whole quest, basically. Hey, Doric. I would like to use your anvils, please. And then I just so happen to have all those things. And we're done. That was the easiest quest point you're ever going to get. Well, there's a few that are equally as easy, but 1,300 mining XP, a little bit of cash. Now we can use this anvil. That is 26 quest points. And 33 mining, I guess. Cool. That's actually going to be useful later. But not quite yet. Moving on, we're going to make a massive improvement to another one of our training methods available. Starting with the letter D, and basically what you want to go for. Simple and effective. Prayer training. It's dragon bones. Regular dragon bones. Now I'm going to do some calculations and see if we can't get ourselves 43 prayer. We've got a decent surplus of money right now, so it might be possible. Unfortunately, we're heading to the Chaos Altar, but just for 43. RNG has not been kind to us in this prayer training venture. I even purchased 5 more dragon bones than I theoretically would need. And yet here we are, barely scraping it by here. There's a real possibility that we're not actually going to get the level off of this bunch of bones. We need to get 10 or so sacrifices off of these 6 bones. We did it. 43 prayer. So we can use protection prayers now, which is super convenient. We even managed to do this without being PK'd for the 3 trips that this took. So that's nice. It didn't cost us too much, but not dying is beneficial still. Gas Fanatic doesn't mess around. My goodness. But with that done, we'll be able to do pretty much whatever we want. We used stamina potions and ran back and forth between Ferox Enclave because we don't have any teleports to the wilderness, really. And that was fine. But now, something that starts with E. Starting off the quest line here in Zaya is a dangerous proposition for this account. To do so, we must start Client of Korend. But by asking, we're immediately given the Enchanted Scroll. So we intentionally did not start this quest until we can get the Enchanted Scroll unlocked. But with that, we are moving on with this quest line. A lot of this, especially this quest, is going to be helpful for skipping a little bit in one of these houses. And I'm thinking, unlike other people do, I think I want to skip Arceus. Because if we do that, we'll be able to skip to the Dark Knowledge and not have to do a whole mess with the library books. There's a lot of library books, and we don't need that right now. Well, that is E. Complete. And now, it's time to go fail a puzzle. Intentionally. Hello again, Pier. This time, I think I've got it. We climb up here. We go into this chest. We search for the empty jug. We run over this cupboard. We search for an empty bucket. Previously, we had unlocked the full bucket, but now we also have a new item, full jug. With these 2 items, we can now continue into this quest. Because when you use the items together, we get items like 3/5 bucket, which starts with a 3. And 3 is not in the alphabet. 1/3 jug, that counts too. Pour this out, fill the tap, bucket and jug, 3/5 bucket, empty jug, empty bucket, full bucket. It's all available. You can have any amount of bucket and jug I want. And that's what's required for the next part of this quest. But that unlocks an item. So we lose again. And we get another item that we can't put in the bank. Full jug. But progress is progress. Next up, we have 2 items that we're going to need for quests. Starting with G, it's garlic. Regular old garlic. We could buy 11,000 garlic. I wonder if there's even that many in the game. They're not exactly a frequently used item outside of quests, but there we go. Garlic. And another one. Starting with H, we're going to get ourselves hard leather. Another potential way to train crafting, which we're not going to use. I think you lose a whole bunch of money making hard leather bodies. And we've got a crafting training method lined up eventually here. So I'm not too worried about it. What I am worried about is the price of this. Very inaccurate. 237 coins for a hard leather. Could be worse. Could be worse. In gem and scroll. Full jug. Garlic. Hard leather. And now we're on to I. But I is going to give us a bit of a problem. And to solve it, we're going mining. Here's a pretty big milestone early into this mining grind. 36 mining gets us 1,000 total level. Pretty cool. Going all right. I'm mining the iron here, near Yanil, and then banking whenever I have the run energy. It's not worth too much, and it's definitely not worth walking to the bank or using stamina potions. But just banking, like basically every other inventory, probably equivalent money making, give or take. We're not exactly completely set on gold yet, so a few thousand coins worth of iron ore, that's still worth it. And there's going to be plenty more to come. And there is level 50 mining. That was the goal here. We managed to bank ourselves 1,100 iron ore, so 50k there. I calculated a little bit, and it was basically worthwhile to bank the ore when I could run, but not really when I could only walk. So we banked less than half of the ore total. So still, 53,000 coins. Not going to complain too much. But that is everything we needed to continue on. 50 mining, going for an item that starts with I. Here we are, at the rock slide, which our 50 mining allows us to pass. There's only one reason you would come to this location, and that's what we're doing. So let's go take care of this. As much as this dungeon is connected to the hero's quest, it's not actually a requirement or anything. You can just come down here whenever you want, as long as you can get past the landslide. Bring your pickaxe, you're good to go. You can fight the Ice Queen whenever you want to. We are making very good use of our new combat upgrades today. We got our Abyssal Whip, our Protection Prayers, A solid upgrade. Not that the Ice Queen is difficult in any way, shape, or form. And we would have been fine with our Dragon Sword and no prayer, but when you got it, might as well use it. And there we have the Ice Gloves. Useful. That's why we got them. Not going to use them in combat or anything, since we have this whole void melee setup going on, but that is one thing we don't need to worry about again. And it starts with an I, so that's the whole point to hit. The whole point of this whole thing, really. Ice Gloves. Moving into J, I'm running out of particularly useful things that we can unlock. So we're going to be making just basically a random purchase at this moment. We're getting ourselves a Jengerberry seed. So I guess someday we could grow Jengerberries for experience if we wanted to. We've already unlocked Jengerberries, so it's available. We can do it now. Except we don't have the farming level, of course. We've unlocked many seeds at this point, all of which we can't farm. So it's problematic overall. But we're gonna get there eventually. Next up, in the things that start with letters but aren't particularly useful, we're gonna get ourselves a kingworm. I guess if we ever want to do the gnome cooking, I don't know. Starts with a K. It's here. Sure. We are quickly moving towards running out of things that we can easily obtain. And there's a few doozies of items in the J category. We still have plenty of options left. We can get jade things of all varieties. But if we're not quick about it, we're going to end up needing to buy something like Justiciar. And it's going to be problematic. Because our money-making method is Agility Pyramid. So I've got some plans in the works to unlock something I'd rather do than Agility Pyramid. But that's going to take a while, so we're going to be getting all kinds of useless items. Oh well. But next, not a useless item. Very useful, actually. Bit of a miscalculation here. I was going to go get the lighthouse key for Horror from the Deep. But we cannot do that, because we can't get in here. We would need to do the bar crawl. And that is 10 different items. And the bar crawl card. So that's not happening right now. I guess we can still make a little bit of progress in the quest though. So we're gonna go repair the bridge over here. But we need to go find something else that starts with L. Because that is not a thing we can do. Not a thing we can do at all. Okay. This should work. It starts with an L, and that's what matters. So, we're buying ourselves a lobster pot. Not to train fishing with or anything. This is for Dragon Slayer. But that's good. It's a quest item. That's what matters. Next up, for M, we're going to get ourselves a good handful of maple logs. Not going to chop them or anything, since that takes a little bit. We even saved a gold on those. How nice. If we drop all these in here, we can take ourselves one knife and some maple logs and do a little bit of fletching. Maple logs have a G value of 10, and maple longbows, unstrung of course, is the item we're unlocking and has a value of 78. So not only are we getting 58 fletching XP, well, 58.5, we're also getting 68 GP each time. That's just profit. Super AFK, don't need to worry about it. I don't know exactly how much money per hour fletching maple longbows U is, but my goodness does it not take much effort. And that's what I'm here for. So, maple longbows U is our M item. Taking the coins back out to purchase the next two items here. Continuing the theme of, I guess we'll maybe farm these someday. Nastrium seed. Starts with an N. Not very expensive. Nasturtium? Whatever. Just penciling in the actual flower for next time. We might come up with something better, but we've got the Nasturtium seed. That is a flower. 24. I'm not too worried about farming, really. We've got so many options now, it's just bound to work out in our favor. And speaking of farming options, the real big ticket item for training, at least at the start, and very close to the level that we have, we're going to get ourselves some oak saplings. Nice and cheap. Nice, easy experience. Already pre-potted and ready to go. Once we have 15 farming, we're in the money. Well, 15 farming and the rest of the farming supplies, but this is going to be our answer to low-level farming experience. At least high enough, at least it's going to be enough XP to get us to be able to farm some other things also. Either way, not too worried about farming. Next up, starting with P, is an item we already have available. We grab this poison, we grab this fish food, put them together, you have poisoned fish food. One more step completed. In earnest the chicken. And an extra bank space saved. Not that that matters. We are very far away from that being a problem. Even if we had literally every item that we could obtain, and some of them we can't even bank. So, a non-issue, to say the least. It's that time again, where we talk about how we can't unlock anything that starts with Q. There's still 5 items that start with Q. We've got one of them, we can't get the other 4. Moving swiftly on. And we are moving swiftly on to a new skill being completely unlocked. Starting with the letter R, we're getting a rake. With this, we can go around the world raking up all sorts of weeds to get a tiny, tiny amount of experience. But that'll be enough to get us to be able to plant something. And when we need to plant something, we're going to need the seed dipper. More expensive than the farming shops, but not too concerned. Now we can rake, we can plant, we can harvest. Farming is kinda sorta unlocked. We just need to go rake some stuff. So let's see if we can do a little of running around raking. I don't know if this is going to be the best experience. It's not going to be very good at all, let's be honest. There's a problem with this plan. There is a very clear problem with this plan. I can quickly pencil this one in. We're not going to go rake anything yet. And why we're not raking anything will become apparent very quickly. But that's going to have to be on hold for a second here. It's still happening, just not quite yet. In the meantime, we're going to unlock something, starting with T. It's the Terramon potion, unfinished. Used in multiple quests. Whether or not these quests are going to give me a Terramon to start with, yet to be determined. But we're going to need this at some point. And now we have it. Can't do much with it right now. Just useful for later. Another thing we're going to need, well, probably not, but why not? The U's are running lower on items that are useful too. So we're just going to get another uncut. This time, the Jade. Maybe. If we can purchase it. Uncut Jade. Higher price. Nope. Okay. Maybe someday we'll do some gem mining. It's an option. Well, it's not quite an option yet, since we still don't have the uncut red topaz. But that's very much on the table for later. The uncut jade. And now, we get to run back to one of our favorite locations to unlock something, starting with V. Back here again. Making use of our complete ability to manipulate the amount of water in this bucket and jug, we have the 4/5 full bucket, which is what you need to put on this chest to get yourself a vase. I can shake it around. I can look at it. I can leave this place and have it be destroyed. But that's another step in this whole thing. That's progress, though. And now, we can go start farming. Our current farming experience is level 12 with 153 XP to go for 13. Which is all the raking we're going to need. Because at 13, we can plant jute. And we have jute. unlocked. So all we need to do is rake a whole bunch of weeds. Weeds. Starts with W. It's unlocked. Now, sometimes you might be inclined to put the weeds in the compost bin to make compost. But my goodness, do we not need regular compost? Unless we do. We might actually do need that. That might be a quest item. Come to think of it. Garden of Tranquility? I think I have that one mapped. Let's see. Regular compost. While we rake these weeds. Compost potion. Maybe not. Thought it might have done. Well, we're gonna keep raking this while we look this up. A Garden of Tranquility. It does require some compost. Ah, there it is. It requires 2 compost, but our ultra compost that we've already unlocked counts. So, we in fact do not need to unlock regular compost. So, there is no reason for us to put weeds in the compost bin. Technically, we could do that to get a little bit of farming experience. But we're going to get to 13 before the compost would be ready to harvest anyways, so that's unnecessary. If each of these give 4, and then there's 3 of each, so that's 12. So each full allotment patch here is 48 experience. We're going to need to go to at least 2 more full allotment patches, and then we can start moving on to our jute. Probably going to want to get some ultra compost too. Probably beneficial for us. But yeah. At least we don't need to rake all the way from level 1. Our whole thing we did with the Hosidius plows has come in very beneficial over and over. So we're going to go rake the Arty allotments, and then probably Falador. And then we can start actually planting crops. We will be starting our farming empire here on Entrana. I went and purchased a few more ultra compost. So that should allow us to have our jute possibly survive, which would be convenient for us. And now we have the level. 13 for jute. Rake the patch. Come on. And Ultra Compost also gives experience, so that's a win-win. Perfect. Beautiful. There are 4 hops patches around the game. 1 here in Entrana, 1 in Lumbridge, 1 in Sears Village, and 1 in Yanil. Now, we do not have Yanil teleport, so what we're going to be doing is using the, well, I don't think we can use the Nightmare Zone teleport either. Well, we might be able to. We've done a few quests. Let's give this a click, see what happens. Insufficient. My brain is insufficiently experienced. Alright. Fishing trawler teleport it is, I suppose. But we're just going to go there last. And then plant there again. With any luck, 1 round of jute might get us to level 15, so We will see. So I will be back when I'm harvesting my first harvests. Well, this is unfortunate. Our jute is diseased. And there is nothing we can do about that. We don't have plant cures. So, yeah. Not ideal. Hopefully the other 3 lived. Hilarious. We used Ultra Compost. Come on. Why you gotta be like that? Bummer. Got level 14 farming. Replanting the dead jute. But here's the real deal. You would think we'd be able to get a whole bunch of jute from this. But I'm not holding my breath on that. Jute fiber. That's got some value to it. Make profit farming some jute. Yenilians might be better though, so. We're just gonna plant some more anyways. We're going to need more jute seeds though. So I'll go get those. If we make some profit on this, I can afford to buy as many jute seeds as I want. Winning. The Entrana jute also died. So that's unfortunate. Luckily this one lived, but just putting the Ultra Compost and planting again would have been enough to get 15 anyways, so. Big level, 15 farming. We now do oak trees. That's going to be very convenient. I'm gonna probably keep doing jute, just because it's profitable here. It really depends on if these sell well. If there is a very minimal market for jute fiber, we might switch to Yenilian hops once we get that level. But for the time being, a little bit of extra profit. I'm not going to complain about it. But now that we have 15, we can plant some oak trees. Planting the 5 oak trees that I have access to. Got to level 16 farming. So we can do Yenilian hops now. If jute doesn't work out for us. Speaking of which, I suppose we can test it out. We only have a small amount of jute fiber. But if this first group of jute fiber doesn't sell, we'll have a pretty good indication that we're going to need to switch over to the Yenilian hops. It all sold. 26,000 coins. Our first farm run. We're already making bank. Can't complain about that. Also brought some weeds back to put in here. And I suppose it's that time of the episode, again, where we talk about things we can't get. This time, the letter X. We need to do 100 challenge mode raids without being carried. So, that's not a thing that's going to happen. But we can scroll through here, try to decide if we can do a challenge mode raid. Nope, don't think so. So we can get to move on to Y. We're going to continue one of the themes of this episode. We're going to unlock another training option. Further down the line, though, we're going to get ourselves the U longbow unstrung. Based on what I could see, it's slightly more profit per action, and more XP, of course, to make the U longbows than the maples. So, if we get up to 70 fletching, that'll be worth having. And we might very well do that, because fletching is incredibly AFK. And lastly, it starts with Z. Should come as no surprise, we're getting another Zamorak thing. It's been Zamorak all the way down the list so far, and that's not stopping today. This time, we're getting the Zamorak Monk Top. We can get this for free when we go to the Underground Pass, or I guess fighting some of the Zamorak monks that are all around. It's not as good as our other options, but it's technically a quest item, so we're going to need to unlock it eventually. So that's good. We've got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 items. Couldn't store the vase. Couldn't store the full jug. And we have nothing from Q or X. So that is the full round. We bought ourselves a whip. We got ice gloves. Unlocked some more quest steps. More training methods. The entire skill of farming. Protection prayers. Also fantastic. Total bank value, just shy of 6 million. And if we look at our marks of grace, not half the bank anymore. Only about 33% of the bank. So, the marks and the whip makes up a huge percentage of our bank value. But that makes sense. Overall, a very solid episode. It's not every day that you bring your new whip, get protection prayers, grab yourself some ice gloves, and start farming. That's just how it is. When you, one, have these ridiculous requirements for how you do things, and two, don't plan things out the entire way. But this is what progress looks like. And we will continue on making more progress next time. Goodbye.